Good morning, I'm Wendy Burke and this is a CBC Morning Report for Thursday, August 25th. In our top story, a story which CBC News carried Tuesday about some homeless men in Worthing, Christchurch has received swift response from the Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, Kirk Humphrey. He and a team from his ministry visited the group of men who are causing public concern. He issued a statement on the outcome.
You all would have also seen very recently the news on CBC News and on the social media for CBC in relation to some homeless persons that are at the bottom of Rendezvous Hill. We just visited there. As a matter of fact, the National Assistance Board was there yesterday because the CBC had reached out to me and to make an assessment, and they had some difficulty getting the assessment because persons weren't very willing to respond. So myself and the Permanent Secretary visited just now, and we were able to speak to the persons there and to hear their stories as to the reasons that they are there. Now, homelessness is a very complicated thing. And in this particular scenario, there was one person we spoke to, I wouldn't call his name, but I know all the names now, who told me his situation was in relation to relationship and now having to find accommodation. The National Assistance Board is working with him. He already received support from the Welfare Department, and we have advised that if he's able to find a place to rent, we'll be able to pay the rent. Kimar Safri was also there at the site visit with us, and they've made their facilities available to house the persons who might need housing temporarily, and to do an assessment to make sure that the persons are, in a mental state, and that's all they need. There was one person who needed some medical assistance. We called the ambulance. So by the time I left, the ambulance was to be on the way. I must also say that the gentlemen are very well known to the persons who operate the ambulance as well. But that there is a problem in our society that needs to be addressed at the core. And I know there is a tendency now for persons to see these stories and to draw some conclusions suggesting that either the government doesn't care or that people do not care, or that, it's very, very, very difficult in many cases. And oftentimes these stories present as one thing, but that the root story is something else. And you have to be able to solve a lot of these issues at the core. And I think that is the fundamental nature of the social policy that we must engage in. What is the core of the problem and how do we resolve some of it? And I spoke earlier about our capacity now as a country to be able to care. And I think it's something we must do. But I also feel that we must not be so quick to draw conclusions in relation to a number of these matters. And as is the case in this particular instance, having spoken to some of the gentlemen there, there's no desire to be moved. There's no desire to be in an institution. And I mean, what do? Do we force them to be in an institution? So we've offered to assist them in terms of the counseling that they may need. We've asked for the medical assistance that they may also require. The gentlemen have made a compact to try to keep the space clean. I'm hopeful that they would take our advice and allow us to take them off the street. There's also a need, as there is in other countries, though, to have a policy that addresses homelessness. Because in some cases, there's going to be a case where we could have that conversation and we could come to a conclusion where everybody agrees to be helped. But there's some people who need help and are not willing to receive that help. And that perhaps there needs to be some kind of policy that allows us to intervene, to help people help themselves, even in cases where they're not keen to be helped. But the situation is, as I left it now, with Kimar Safri on site, the Director of National Assistance Board is on site, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of People Empowerment is on site, and offering as much assistance as we can to those persons who may need help.
Coming up on CBC Morning Report, updates on the pandemic and the war in Ukraine. The COVID-19 death toll has risen to 537 following the deaths of 5 people. An 82-year-old man passed away on Tuesday, August 23rd. In addition, the coroner's office reported 4 more COVID-19 related deaths in the community in the past 2 weeks. Meanwhile, there were 221 new COVID-19 cases, 116 males and 105 females recorded from the 877 tests conducted on August 23rd from laboratories across the island. The number of people in isolation facilities was 70, while 2,241 were in home isolation. Under the National Vaccination Program for COVID-19, the total number of people with at least 1 dose is 163,149, while the total number of fully vaccinated is 321. Trinidad and Tobago's Minister of Health, Terence Dale Singh, has saluted and thanked healthcare workers who he says stuck by the country as the country confronted the challenges brought by the COVID-19 pandemic. He described the pandemic as one that occurs every 100 years.
I think by any objective measure, our healthcare workers across the system, from the ministry to the RHAs, security, cleaners, administrators, HR, lab techs, mortuary attendants, nurses, attendants, doctors, everyone pulled not only their weight, but the weight of their colleagues when persons had to be unavoidably absent from work due to COVID. It was a great team effort, and as Minister of Health, responsible for that team, I could only express my deepest gratitude to them.
Principal Medical Officer Miriam Abdul Richards says the Ministry of Health continues to support and provide a response to the COVID-19 pandemic. She says a significant proportion of patients coming down with COVID are not fully vaccinated or unvaccinated.
Between the 22nd of July 2021, and the 17th of July and the 17th of August 2022, approximately 80% of all patients who have been admitted to hospital because they are severely and critically ill are not fully vaccinated. And this is a reminder to all of us that we should become vaccinated, receive our boosters as required, because vaccination protects against severe disease, hospitalization, and death. Vaccination also reduces the risk of transmitting COVID-19 to our relatives and children who cannot be vaccinated and may be considered vulnerable.
Millions of students in the Philippines are returning to school after one of the world's longest lockdowns of the pandemic. Children have been studying at home for more than 2 years, and the consequences are clear to see.
At a weekend community class in a Manila suburb, these children are learning how to read. It's a skill that by global standards should have been mastered by the age of 10. But Kian Borsione, who is in the 4th grade, still struggles to read in his native Filipino.
Ma, please. See.
When? English is an even greater challenge.
Can you do it? Huh? Say. Ikaw, how about you? Chase? No.
And numbers are equally difficult.
4 plus 6.
6. 12.
Nako.
These children have been attending class remotely since the COVID-19 pandemic began in 2020. Most restrictions were only lifted this year.
Mothers are busy with work or with chores at home. They may not have enough time to tutor their kids, which is a huge part of distance learning.
The result is a further setback in the quality of education, not only for the Philippines, but for most low and middle income countries.
The quality of learning among Filipino school kids was already poor in pre-pandemic times. In 2019, only around 30% could read simple text or understand a simple story by the age of 10. International aid agencies say that number has now dropped to less than 20%.
On Monday, schools opened for in-person classes for the first time in 2 years. COVID-19 is still very much a concern, with temperature checks, face masks, and regular hand washing the norm. But the Education Department acknowledges that the bigger problem is learning deficiency.
We have a program that's called Every Child is Able to Read. So that's an after-school program that we are launching with the help of accredited tutors and teachers so that we could sort of focus on the literacy skills of our children.
The government hopes that resuming face-to-face classes will improve the quality of education to better equip these children in an increasingly competitive world.
There are more than 14,000 monkeypox cases in the United States, with an increase of 30% in just a week.
So my name's Matt, I have monkeypox. This sucks and you don't want it.
All across social media, monkeypox patients are posting warnings. This is a painful, debilitating disease that you don't want to get.
I was in so much pain.
Right now, the vast majority of cases are in men who have sex with other men. It's rarely fatal, but activists in the gay community have mobilized.
I'm very confident that we can get ahead of it before the massive outbreak, given the community's fortitude and their resilience, and also learning from the mistakes of COVID.
And there is a vaccine. The CDC says it should be administered in 2 doses 28 days apart, but there's not nearly enough of it. Vaccination clinics like these are now popping up across the country, but critics say the Biden administration was very slow. At one point, leaving hundreds of thousands of doses of the vaccine that the U.S. already owns in Europe. So now officials are trying to stretch the vaccine. By administering it in a different way, they're hoping to get 5 doses out of 1 vial. But there could be a problem with that.
It's totally unclear that anything I've read on the science, if the degree of protection is identical to what the original proposal is, or prescription, which is to get 2 full doses.
Bob Goldstraw says he was turned away from getting his second shot. He believes it's a problem of supply. The D.C. Health Department blames the Biden administration.
What we end up getting is 12,000 doses. Had we got 12,000 vials of vaccine, that would have been some 60,000 doses that we would have had.
The monkeypox virus has spread quickly in the United States. The first case was reported in May. The CDC says there are now more than 14,000 confirmed cases. The Biden administration says they are working to secure millions more vaccine doses, but health experts say that creates other issues.
We really need to be partnering with our global partners and colleagues around the world to make sure that vaccines aren't just made available to high-income countries like the U.S. and Europe, but also that, it's pretty alarming and disgusting that now there are still no vaccines made available on the continent of Africa.
The maker of the vaccine says it will take months to expand its production capabilities, but experts say the window to contain a broader outbreak could already be closing.
European leaders have sent messages of solidarity with Ukraine, many pledging more military support as Russian troops continue to launch attacks.
Singing the national anthem in Belgium, but this of course is Ukraine's anthem, part of a coordinated effort by Europe to send a renewed message of solidarity. Ursula von der Leyen was wearing the colours of Ukraine's flag as she joined other leaders in addressing the Ukrainian population.
We can never match the sacrifices you are making every day, but we can and we will stand by your side.
Defending the sovereignty and independence of Ukraine is defending the stability of our world.
We will continue delivering weapons from armoured howitzers to anti-aircraft systems month after month.
Britain's Prime Minister, who was in Kiev on Wednesday, promised Ukraine every possible military, economic and humanitarian support, including new drones or UAVs.
Today I can tell you that more artillery and more ammunition is on its way, and 2,000 UAVs.
Johnson's not been seen at 10 Downing Street for a while. He's been holidaying before leaving office next month, but there's no missing the symbolism of the flowers outside. Across Europe, then, we've seen ostentatious displays of support for Ukraine. But as the war drags on, the international community's appetite for continuing its military support to the Kyiv government could be severely tested. Since February, many European nations, including the UK, France and Germany, have provided weapons and training directly to the Ukrainian army. But last month, Europe's 6 largest countries offered Ukraine no new bilateral military commitments for the first time since Russia invaded. And the struggle to cushion the public from soaring energy price rises, a knock-on from the conflict, could make it harder for political leaders to justify more spending on Ukraine.
Now, as we see gas prices rise even further, likely to push Europe into a recession. This winter, we have elections coming up, in particular in Italy, that are going to be quite significant. And where some of the right, but not all of them, are more friendly towards the Putin regime. And I think the real focus needs to be on understanding that there is this economic war going on simultaneously.
For now, the words and gestures of support show no sign of drying up. But what Ukrainians might be tempted to wonder is, how long will the outside world make sure their country can resist on the battlefield?
Meanwhile, the United States Security Council met yesterday in New York and discussed the situation in Ukraine in an open session.
Both the Ukrainian president and Russia's ambassador to the United Nations had a chance to address the meeting. Zelensky used the moment to call attention to a possible nuclear catastrophe at the Russian-held Zaporizhzhia power plant.
What's happening right now is that Russia has put the world on the brink of a radiation catastrophe. It's a fact that the Russian military has turned the territory of the largest nuclear power plant in Europe, the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, into a war zone.
Our former Western partners, instead of condemning their Ukrainian mentees, are supplying them with more and more new types of weapons, which reach areas which Kyiv could not previously reach. In doing this, they are becoming accomplices in crimes against the civilian population.
Well, Kristen Sloomy joins us from the United Nations. So, Kristen, the UN with Turkey helped broker a deal to get more grain out of Ukraine. What are the chances it can help ease tensions around the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant?
Well, that grain deal is being touted as a rare success as this conflict enters into its 6th month. The most pressing issue for the United Nations right now is getting a team of IAEA inspectors into that Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant to take a look at any damages there and help ease tensions and tone down the rhetoric on the ground. The Russians and the Ukrainians both accuse each other of shelling around the nuclear plant. Both claim to want the IAEA inspectors to come. And we're hearing from UN sources that it could happen in a matter of days. But the tensions are very high and the security situation is very fraught for those inspectors. And that is what the IAEA and the international bodies are trying to work out going forward. That security remains a concern, but there is hope that it will happen in the next couple of days.
It's time now to preview what's coming up on Morning Barbados, and we say good morning to Pearson Bowen.
Wendy, good morning to you and good morning, everyone. You say the words Jackie Opel and immediately every living Barbadian knows exactly who we're talking about. And because they do, on Saturday will be Jackie Opel Day. So what are we doing to celebrate this Barbadian icon? Government's special advisor on heritage and culture will join us to talk a little bit about the plans and why we should all engage in remembering this Barbadian icon. Also, we hail them as heroes in the height of the pandemic, or nurses, and now they're having a big activity. We'll tell you what it is and how you can be a part of it. And Wendy, I have a question for you. Do you know the clammy cherry?
A clammy cherry, Pearson?
Yes, I'm asking, do you know the clammy cherry?
Pearson, you mean the berry that we use as glue growing up to make kite paste?
All right, don't give too much of it. Don't give too much of it.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you a tick on that one. Have you ever tasted it?
No, it always was too gooey, and I never felt it should have gone in my mouth.
Well, we found a woman who has tasted it, who eats it, as a matter of fact, and she'll join us this morning as well as she tells, I see your face, she tells us about that and a whole lot more. So look forward to that coming up at 6:30 when you join me on Morning Barbados. It's back to you, Wendy.
Thank you so much, Pearson. We look forward to hearing all about what they're doing for Jackie Opel, but I'm not so sure on the Clammy chariot. More when we come back after the break on Morning Report. Barbados is set to reap major benefits from the largest ever TUI Airways winter program. The country is expecting an extended schedule, increased flight capacity, larger cruise ships, and expanded hotel offering with a new TUI UK partnership. CBC's Shane Jones reports.
Minister of Tourism and International Transport Senator Lisa Cummins announced that TUI UK will increase flight capacity to Barbados for the upcoming winter season, soaring above the levels of its last full winter season to reach over 54,000 planned seats. The minister noted that this extended program reconfirms TUI UK's commitment to Barbados and underpins its confidence in Barbados as a key destination for UK holidaymakers. TUI, which previously chartered 7 flights per week to Barbados, has increased this to 8 weekly flights to cater for growing demand. 6 of these weekly charter flights will depart from Birmingham, London Gatwick, and Manchester airports, as well as 2 rover flights which will depart from various UK airports weekly. Minister Cummins added for the winter 2022 to 2023 season, TUI has not only increased its presence in Barbados from 1 to 2 cruise ships, but it has chosen 2 of its largest ships. For the first time, both ships will homeport in Barbados and operate a total of 40 sailing rotations until April 2023, adding a month of additional cruising to the previous season, which ended in March. TUI UK has also increased the number of hotel partners in Barbados, now supporting the majority of Barbados A and B class hotels. This will cater to the approximately 30% of their customers who will book their entire holiday in Barbados and those booking pre- and post-cruise.
A statement has come from the Prime Minister's office making it absolutely clear to Barbadians that at no time during Prime Minister Mia Mottley's recent overseas trip was she on a plane that was involved in any accident, as has been suggested by some media reports. The Prime Minister has deemed those reports to be fake news. The office said that on Tuesday and yesterday, a number of news reports in local and regional media outlets reported that a plane carrying Prime Minister Mottley and Guyana President Irfan Ali skidded off the taxiway after landing, prompting a response from emergency personnel. The Prime Minister explained that it is normal procedure for emergency appliances, including fire crews and official vehicles that transport the President and his guests to meet the plane on the tarmac. She added that what occurred at the Eugene F. Carrera International Airport when she was there earlier this week was no different from what occurred on previous visits. And mining, agriculture and waste diesel are on the agenda of the Caribbean Investment Summit in Barbados this weekend. Chief of Staff of the summit, Shaka Jones, says developing international partnerships in real estate in the Caribbean is also high on the agenda.
What we are doing is bringing US $5 billion in investment in the Caribbean in various sectors. So we have sectors such as agriculture, we have green energy, we have waste to diesel. We also have mining, we have infrastructure development, we have a whole set of different sectors, about 9 of them, and we are bringing in investors and also persons that are in the industry to bring their expertise and also their investment in the Caribbean to develop the Caribbean.
The Caribbean is in need of investment, and the Chief of Staff says business matching has been built into the weekend session.
At the end of every day, at the end of every session, the investors, the speakers, the persons that we have brought in, the experts, are going to be having business meetings. So we're going to have some business matching. So if you're coming to, for example, the agriculture sector or the infrastructure sector, and you want to have a meeting with the presenter just to probably propose what project you have or what you have for investment. And then we will facilitate that meeting, and we are going to be walking away after these 3 days with business deals for those persons that are in attendance from the Caribbean.
And time now for sports. Barbados Royals ended day 1 of the inaugural day of the 60s women's competition with a 1-1 record at Warners Park in St. Kitts yesterday. After winning the opening match against Trinbago Knight Riders in the morning, the Royals women lost to Guyana Amazon Warriors women by 9 wickets in the evening. Royals batted first and only got up to 58 in 9.3 overs. South African Chloe Tryon top scored with 24, while Sherry-Ann Fraser took 3 for 6. Warriors women, in reply, easily got home on 59 for 1 off 8 overs, with skipper and player of the match, Stephanie Taylor, unbeaten on 33. We have highlights.
Lights go on, and Ayabunga.
Women play against Knight Riders women at 3, live on MCTV Sports Max channel 310. The men also get their campaign going from 10 a.m. with Royals and Knight Riders in the last match of the day at 5 p.m. And a quick look at our weather today. I'm sure Pearson's happy about it, knowing he loves the rain. It's currently 26 degrees Celsius, but it feels like 31. The humidity stands at 92% and the barometric pressure 1013 millibars. Winds from the east-southeast at 13 kilometers per hour. A look at the tides. Low tide will be at 6 minutes past 9 this morning and again at 8:39 in the evening. High tide will be at 3:32 in the evening. The seas are smooth to moderate in open water with swells ranging from 1 to 1.5 meters and steady. The forecast, it's expected to be mostly cloudy with breaks of sunshine with frequent intermittent scattered moderate to heavy showers and scattered thunderstorms. Tonight, mostly cloudy with clear breaks with intermittent scattered light to moderate showers. Here's now a look at our international cities. And it's time now to go to Pearson Bowen and Morning Barbados.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Hi there, good morning everyone. It's Thursday, the 25th of August, 2022. What a start to the day. The thunder showers, love it. Till death do us part. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. I'm Pearson Bowen saying good morning to you wherever you are across the globe. Thank you so much for joining us and for joining us on our streams on YouTube and Facebook. I encourage you while there to interact with us as well. We love to see your comments and to read them a little later on, of course. You can go back and look at the show. Now today, coming up, we'll have some letters for you to unscramble. Yes, indeedy. We'll also be reaching out to some of our back to school winners today. So if you have a cell phone number in the mix of things, turn it on. We will be calling perhaps you this morning. Also today we'll talk to you a little bit more about the upcoming National Youth Awards. They're back, yes indeed, and just ahead of the closure of nominations, we'll give you some details. Nominations will close on the 7th of September. This morning we'll meet a young lady, a Hay ambassador out of the Asia Pacific region. She talks about her passion for climate change and why she's doing it. We'll also today be connecting with the Nurses Association as they will launch a new campaign to raise some funds. What is that about and how can you engage with it? The woman who eats clammy cherry, who has a passion for fruits, and clammy cherry is one of them. She will join us this morning to share on that unusual interest of hers. But let's get started today by taking a look at this Saturday's big day. It is Jackie Opel Day. And you say it, and believe me, every word is true. You better believe it. It's going to be happening on that day. Joining us to share a little bit more about what's on the cards is Government's Special Advisor on Culture and Heritage, Senator John King. Senator King, good morning.
Good morning, Pearson. Top of the morning to you. And just as you said, it's a wonderful morning.
I'm glad you feel the same way about the weather as I do. Fantastic, my brother. Now listen, I know a couple of years ago, I think it must have been, when August the 27th, the birthday of this Barbadian musical icon, Jackie Opel, was determined that we will celebrate him on that particular day. Would you believe it's already 52 years since he died?
It seems like, you know, it doesn't seem that long because, you know, with the great music that he made and with a number of the artists who would have grown up with him, continuing to speak about Jackie Opel, his contribution to Barbadian music and to Caribbean music, and by extension world music on the whole. I think it's important that we keep that memory alive. You know, we've been doing such a fantastic job with, like, let's say, for instance, the BCC program, putting out all sorts of great musicians. I think iconic persons like Jackie Opel need to be in the forefront of our mind, and the Division of Culture has made a special effort this year to do so, to ensure that the general public, that our visitors to the island know who he is, understand what his contribution was. And it really is a way of us also being able to give our younger musicians the impetus, or let's say the inspiration, to even go beyond what Jackie has done. And in a small island like ours, 166 square miles, oftentimes you will hear a number of people say, but the place is so small, I can't do this, I can't do the next, I can't do the third. And this was a man who never said, I can't. He always said, I can. And that is the kind of attitude that we want among our people. So to give you a little highlights of what is happening, on Saturday morning, in fact, starting actually officially at 12 noon, the Division of Culture will be having a ceremony in what we know as the Jackie Opel Amphitheater, which is on the grounds of the General Post Office. Now, ironically, this was opened in 1998 by the then Minister, Most Honorable David Simmons, QC, and it spoke then of the then administration's vision in terms of starting the ball rolling, if we may put it that way, for celebrating this iconic man. Since that time, not a lot has been done in the area itself, and there's some construction and other things going on in the area. And when we took a trip there, just to to pay some homage a few months ago during the season of emancipation, we thought to ourselves, well, what can we do to bring to highlight again, bring some attention to this space? Because if you ask a lot of people in Barbados, well, where's the Jackie Opel Amphitheater? I realized then that a lot of people didn't know where it was. And so we're going to be there this Saturday on his birthday. A number of musicians are going to be there also. The minister responsible for culture, the Honorable Dr. Chantal Monroe-Knight, she's going to be there. Members from the Division of Culture itself. And we're inviting persons who just want to pass through. We know we're still in the COVID-19 environment, and we're trying not to put pressure on people to be in big gatherings. But by the time that ceremony is finished, I am sure that numbers of people are going to want to walk there on a regular basis just to see what has been done. And I'm not going to give away too much of what is going to be happening, but what I will say is that music, all of his music is going to be there. We're going to be having a really good time. But the major thing that I want people to really get involved in is going to be in the afternoon. This is going to be put on by the National Library Service, and this is a roundtable discussion on Jackie Opel's life, on his achievements, on his contribution to Barbados' music. Again, this is an initiative from the National Library Service, who have been doing some great work all year long during this season of emancipation. Your moderator for that is going to be Dr. Marcia Burrows. And let me just give you a little idea of who the persons are on that panel. So you'll be seeing Dr. Stefan Walker, you're seeing Mr. Richard Stout, Mr. Desmond Reitz, who is one part of that fantastic Spooge group, the Drayton Stew. Mr. Sax Moore, who we all know is responsible for getting things like cost cap and looking at copyright and all the business aspects of it. He's been in the forefront of that. And Miss Anita Bishop. And this is going to be, in my mind, a great time. As you put up the flyer, people can go online and also be involved. But I want to encourage as many Barbadians as humanly possible who can go online to see this discussion, to make an effort to do that. And we have, Pearson, the cooperation of all of the major radio stations and a lot of the DJs in Barbados. I've personally spoken to a lot of them, and they said that on that day, wherever they are working, wherever they are playing, for the entire day, they're going to be celebrating Jackie Opel and his music. And so I'm really, really happy and thankful. I want to just take this opportunity to thank all of those persons, CBC included, who kindly consented to join us in this huge celebration of Jackie Opel.
He's an outstanding Barbadian indeed. And you know, when you read his story, and we're going to share his story on CBC Radio for sure throughout the day as well, to just reinforce so that we don't forget the legend he truly has been. And to think of it, they say that the best ones die young. Jackie Opel died at the age of 33. Only 33 years old, and we lost him in a vehicle accident.
A young man. But the contribution, when you start to put things together, you look at it, you look at Jesus died in his 30s.
Yes.
Jackie Opel died in his 30s. You go through and you look at people like Martin Luther King, young people, Malcolm X, but the contribution that they've made to the world lives on long after they've passed. Right. And so, there's something about it. But outstanding people are outstanding people. And I think one of the things that we need to do is to encourage the how should I put it? Because sometimes people get a little strange when you say as the young people would say today, give the flowers where the flowers are due. And
Yes.
Barbados has produced a number of fantastic people, some whom we celebrate at particular points in time. But I think we have to move to a stage now where within our schools, where we're teaching, that we celebrate these people so that next generations understand who they are, what they would have contributed to Barbados, and to be inspired by their stories that they themselves can take us to higher heights. And so
That's
this
right.
is, I am so, if you hear a lot of excitement in my voice, it's because I am.
It is.
The response has been overwhelming. I think, I wouldn't want to cry on national TV so everybody could see, but I feel so, I really do, because, when I picked up the phone, I called people, and there was not one person who said that they would not get on board or to hear things like, what are we doing this for? Yes. Everyone has been, really, really, really positive about it, and I'm very, very happy. And we look forward to having these events, the weather, notwithstanding the weather. But again, I'm going to encourage Barbadians to, you get up in the morning, you hear Jackie Opel songs on the radio, shake a leg, sing along, get to know them if you don't know them. But the thing is for us to really enjoy and appreciate what this man has given to us as a music form called Spooge. And for those of you who don't know and you listen to the story, I'm sure, Pearson, that when you guys start to talk about his influence on Bob Marley and Peter Tosh and Bunny Wailer and all of you, a lot of people will be very surprised.
Absolutely. So there's a lot to be celebrating on Saturday as he marks his 85th birthday, what would have been his 85th birthday on Saturday, this coming Saturday, Jackie Opel Day. There's an activity in the amphitheater of the General Post Office in town, which is just a stone's throw from where he was born. Dalton Bishop Man-Face, Jackie Opel, whatever you choose to call him, right there in town. That's what's going to be happening from about noon. Senator King kept a few things under the wraps. I'll keep them too. So when you come down there to engage with it, then you'll know exactly what it is and the excitement around it there. And then in the evening, we're heading to the Grand Salle of the Central Bank for that roundtable discussion. One of the people at that table is his sister, Anita Bishop, his sister.
Correct.
To hear it from one of his living relatives talking about who he is and his life will be riveting. And I want to encourage as many of you as possible also to be at the Grand Salle. It starts at 7 in the evening. If you can't, just join online and be engaged with it. It will be streamed on the Barbados National Library Service, on Facebook and YouTube. And we want to encourage as many of us Barbadians to look at that face. Look at that face. At 33 years old, he left us, but he was quite a dynamo of a little man. And he was Barbadian most of all. He's one of us. Senator King, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to Saturday's excitement as well, like you. And, from Friday, we'll begin to sensitize folks here on our radio stations, but we really want everyone to engage with what's happening on Saturday.
Well, let me say thank you so very much. And for those people in the diaspora who have been calling, the information is here for you. We look forward to you joining us at that time. Thank you so much, Pearson.
You're very welcome. Thank you too. Senator John King, who is government's special advisor on culture and heritage. Jackie Opel Day is Saturday. So you'll hear the music, you'll feel the fun and the festivity, you'll feel the energy really from this little man known as Dalton Bishop. You'll hear his music on radio. You will be in town at the amphitheater to enjoy the festivities there from around noon. And then we're heading to the Grand Salle of the Central Bank at 7 in the evening to continue with a roundtable discussion. Lots happening on that day, and it's happening very near to you as well. So let's all, as Barbadians, continue to celebrate the rich heritage we have in that little pocket of a man known as Jackie Opel on Saturday. We'll take a break here. We'll be coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So we're 12 minutes approaching 7 o'clock now as we turn our attention to the activities of the Barbados Nurses Association. Joining us now is Tracy Collins, who is with the association. Tracy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson. Thank you so much for having me this morning.
You are very welcome. We beat pots and pans. We celebrated you guys, the nurses, during the height of the pandemic, and we continue to lend our support. I know there's an activity coming up on the weekend, on Sunday, as a matter of fact. What is it? Tell us all about it.
Okay, we're having what we will call a 5K walk and treasure hunt. It's coming off this Sunday, August the 28th, starting at 3 p.m. up until 9 p.m. So we're going to have a bit of a warm-up session, which is going to be done by Body by Frank. So you have to get those joints and everything ready for the walk.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're going to have that first, a bit of entertainment also will be happening as well from about 6 p.m. until about 8:39.
Right, so from 3 in the afternoon right through to the night at 9, we are going to be out there in full support of the Nurses Association with this fun walk and treasure hunt. And that's the whole thing. So give me the logistics now. We have to register, no doubt. So talk to me about registration.
Okay, so registration is a donation of $25, which entitles you to a t-shirt and a healthy snack on the day of the event. So the event is actually being held at the Bay Street Esplanade, and we're going to make our way towards the Garrison area. And just a little sneak peek, and as you get to the Garrison area, we will make our way on to the road that takes you to the Seventh-day Adventist School.
Right.
And continue across Belleville onto Belmont Road back to the Bay Street Esplanade for a warm down session. And then we will have some entertainment from about 6 p.m.
Sweet. So you can either walk or run, move at your pace, so to speak. It's a 5K. And in registering with your $25, where do we go to register?
You register at the Barbados Nurses Association, which is located opposite the Ursuline Convent School, because I know persons would know exactly where that is.
Yes.
You can't miss it. The sign is right there. And the t-shirt sizes go up to 2XL.
Okay. You know, and the Ursuline Convent, for those of you who are wondering, okay, where Barbados is, that's on Collymore Rock, near to that bakery. Collymore Rock. Across the street is where you'll find the Barbados Nurses Association on the opposite side of the street. And that's where you go to make your registration. The t-shirts are beautiful from what I saw, you know, so you get a t-shirt and you get yourself ready for the warm up and then the warm down at the end of it, because this 5K walk and run. Fun. What are you using the funds for, if anyone asks that question?
Okay, so actually, you know, we are basically a nonprofit organization, but we are planning to make a donation to the prevention of childhood obesity, because, you know, that is something that we really have to look into more. So we want to make a donation to that program after the proceedings.
Okay, so we got the walk and the run. We get it. So we're going to meet at the Bay Street Esplanade on Sunday. Get there before 3 because we're going to kick off around 3. So get there early in your numbers. Team up if you have to team up. And I would love to see families and groups. It doesn't matter the age. You just all come. Yeah, because all the funds will go towards assisting the response to childhood obesity. This is fantastic. But there's also a treasure hunt. So explain to me the treasure hunt.
All right, so in terms of the treasure hunt, there will be offered clues and they will be pinpoint different locations. Can't share too much because it is a treasure hunt. But you would find your clues and it will lead you to another clue. And then we have some awesome prizes that we will be giving away. We have some nice healthy fruit baskets. And there's also a makeover from Nivea Creations Beauty Salon. And so much more. We have some entertainment as well, as I said before, from about 6 p.m., where we have some persons like cameraman, we have Jude, so many persons have dedicated their time and efforts to this endeavor, and we're just really, really excited.
Yes.
And just to come on and take part. You know, if you can't walk the full walk, you can still come out and support and enjoy some good music on that Sunday evening, this Sunday.
I agree. So just out of curiosity, my registration for the walk and run, $25, I get my t-shirt and so, does that also entitle me to be a part of the treasure hunt? Or do I have to do it? Okay. Oh, great. So everyone who registers does the fun walk, run, and the treasure hunt?
Yes. And also remember, you'll be entitled to a healthy snack on the road as well.
So many benefits you get for registering indeed. But the wonderful, tremendous benefit you get is that you get exercise and you get a tremendous amount of fun as well. So we encourage as many of you as possible to register today or as quickly as possible if you haven't already done so. I'm sure you have an appeal now, and we're placing some numbers and information on the screen for those of you who are listening. Take a quick look at the screen to see how to contact the individuals and book your spot. I'm sure you're making appeal to youth groups and church groups and organizations to come forward in numbers to support this.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's for everyone. It's not just for nurses. It's for everyone. So we are offering t-shirts to children for $20. There was also a special offer for nursing students as well, that they can have their shirts for $20 as well. But for the general public, the t-shirts are $25 Barbados.
This is going to be fun. It's Sunday, so don't lose track of the time, everybody. It's on Sunday. We kick off the walk and the run from 3 in the afternoon. But before that, there's a warm-up session. There's going to be a lot of music and entertainment there at Bay Street. Esplanade is where we will all assemble. And if you're feeling hot at the end of it all, you dip yourself in the sea. It's right there anyway. And I'm sure the beach facilities will also be open and available to you. So this is in support of the Barbados Nurses Association, as you've said, Tracy, as you continue to raise funds to assist those who are a part of this early childhood, beating childhood obesity, really and truly. It's a serious concern for a number of us, and particularly for you nurses too.
Yes, it is. Definitely is. Because as you could appreciate, right now statistics can say that 1 in every 4 child can actually be obese. So it's something that we really have to look into to ensure that we bring a lot of awareness to it, and also help to put policies in place that will reduce these different unhealthy snacks and all the sugary drinks that we are feeding our children of tomorrow. So it's a very important cause, and I'm very ecstatic to be a part of it. And I just want everybody to come out and support us on Sunday.
I do too. You know, somebody told me that I was a chubby child, can't see it, but nonetheless, you know, we've had to adjust our diets and so on. We're asking folks to make adjustments to your diets and your children's diets, but also get your children actively involved in exercise. And so this fun walk and run, a 5K on Sunday, is a great activity to put them to the test. Again, you can go at your pace. It's not a race in the sense that you're going to be able to see who comes first, even though some of you will be acknowledged for your effort. But nonetheless, it's a good opportunity for the families, the groups, for those of you who have chronic and non-chronic, non-communicable diseases as well, to come and engage. But registration is critical. You register with the Barbados Nurses Association on Collymore Rock, opposite Ursuline Convent. So if you know where Ursuline's Convent is, across the street you'll see the sign. That's where they are, the Barbados Nurses Association. You can go there and you can make your payment of $25, receive your t-shirt. You'll be receiving snacks. You'll have lots of fun. There are prizes to be won. And if you have any further questions, of course, you can call 427-5627 or 233-3962. Or drop an email to gibsonhouse1936@gmail.com. The information is right there. It was a moment ago on your screen. So there it is now. So call the office to book or order your shirt, 427-5627 or 233-3962. It's Sunday, the Barbados Nurses Association. Tracy, thank you for joining us. I wish all much success with this. I really hope that thousands of Barbadians fill the streets on Sunday to join in this very healthy effort by the Barbados Nurses Association.
Thank you so much, Pearson.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. All right, folks, we are going to take a break right here. When we come back, I have a tip for you.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We are 1 minute away from 7 o'clock. Let's give you a tip now as it relates to Bajan Pure Purified Water. Time for that tip. And pay close attention because this is important. Drinking water prevents kidney damage. Let me say that again. Drinking water prevents kidney damage. The kidneys regulate fluid in the body. Insufficient water can lead to kidney stones and other problems. Remember to drink lots of water every day. Why? When you drink your water, you can prevent kidney damage. How else to say that to you? So as Barbados struggles with this as well, I want to encourage as many of you as possible to avoid it by drinking more water. The kidneys regulate the fluid in the body. Insufficient water, consumption of water, can lead to kidney stones and other problems. We don't need the problems. So we encourage you today as you go out doing your shopping, you reach for Bajan Pure Purified Water and consume your water in large enough quantities. Bajan Pure Purified Water. That tip is brought to you today by Bajan Pure Purified Water. So drink lots of water today. Don't forget, coming up on Saturday, Jackie Opel Day. We encourage as many of you as possible to pay attention to the radio. Play the music, talk about him. The panel discussion, the round table, is on Saturday evening at 7 o'clock in the Grand Salle. Will also be streamed on the Facebook and YouTube pages of the Barbados National Library Service. We want you to be there. So just engage and talk more. Tell your children about Jackie Opel. Jackie Opel's sister will be a part of that round table as well. We can't wait to hear from her, along with Satch Moore, Richard Stout, Dr. Stefan Walcott, Desmond Weeks, and moderated by Dr. Marcia Burrows, who is lecturer in cultural studies on Saturday. So Saturday being Jackie Opel Day, tell the children, wake up early, play the music, talk about the man. Born in 1937, August the 27th, died March 1970 at the age of 33. Quite young, but he's one of ours and we celebrate him still. Let's take a look at now again at the news, and for that we say again good morning to Wendy Burke.
Good morning to you, Pearson. And whilst you like the weather, the news may not be so happy for some motorists because we are currently on a flood watch. Yes, an alert was given at 6 a.m. today by the Met Office, and they're expected to update that by 9. A flash flood warning is in effect right now. Over the last hour, moderate to heavy rainfall and thunderstorm activity have been observed as a tropical wave affects Barbados. Further accumulations of 15 millimeters to 50 millimeters in moderate to heavy rainfall are possible within the coming hours. Residents and visitors should be prepared for the following possibilities if this alert level elevates to red. Significant runoff from higher elevations, significant soil erosion is likely on exposed or scarred land surfaces, and large water settlements on roads and fields. So just be careful out there this morning with this flood watch. Barbados is set to reap major benefits from the largest ever TUI Airways winter program. The country is expecting an extended schedule, increased flight capacity, larger cruise ships, and expanded hotel offerings with a new UK partnership. CBC's Shane Jones tells us more.
Minister of Tourism and International Transport Senator Lisa Cummins announced that TUI UK will increase flight capacity to Barbados for the upcoming winter season, soaring above the levels of its last full winter season to reach over 54,000 planned seats. The minister noted that this extended program reconfirms TUI UK's commitment to Barbados and underpins its confidence in Barbados as a key destination for UK holidaymakers. TUI, which previously chartered 7 flights per week to Barbados, has increased this to 8 weekly flights to cater for growing demand. 6 of these weekly charter flights will depart from Birmingham, London Gatwick, and Manchester airports, as well as 2 rover flights which will depart from various UK airports weekly. Minister Cummins added for the winter 2022 to 2023 season, TUI has not only increased its presence in Barbados from 1 to 2 cruise ships, but it has chosen 2 of its largest ships. For the first time, both ships will home port in Barbados and operate a total of 40 sailing rotations until April 2023, adding a month of additional cruising to the previous season, which ended in March. TUI UK has also increased the number of hotel partners in Barbados, now supporting the majority of Barbados A and B class hotels. This will cater to the approximately 30% of their customers who will book their entire holiday in Barbados and those booking pre- and post-cruise.
Mining, agriculture, and waste to diesel are on the agenda of the Caribbean Investment Summit in Barbados this weekend. Chief of Staff of the summit, Shaka Jones, says developing international partnerships in real estate in the Caribbean is also high on the agenda.
What we are doing is bringing US $5 billion in investment in the Caribbean in various sectors. So we have sectors such as agriculture, we have green energy, we have waste to diesel. We also have mining, we have infrastructure development, we have a whole set of different sectors, about 9 of them, and we are bringing in investors and also persons that are in the industry to bring their expertise and also their investment in the Caribbean to develop the Caribbean.
The Caribbean is in need of investment, and the Chief of Staff says business matching has been built into the weekend session.
At the end of every day, at the end of every session, the investors, the speakers, the persons that we have brought in, the experts, are going to be having business meetings. So we're going to have some business matching. So if you're coming to, for example, the agriculture sector or the infrastructure sector, and you want to have a meeting with the presenter just to probably propose what project you have or what you have for investment. And then we will facilitate that meeting, and we are going to be walking away after these 3 days with business deals for those persons that are in attendance from the Caribbean.
A statement has come from the Prime Minister's office making it absolutely clear to Barbadians that at no time during her visit overseas has she been on a plane that was involved in any accident and has been suggested by media reports. The Prime Minister has deemed it as fake news. The office said that on Tuesday and yesterday, a number of news reports in local and regional media outlets reported that a plane carrying Prime Minister Mia Amor Motley and Guyana President Irfan Ali skidded off the taxiway after landing, prompting a response from emergency personnel. Prime Minister Motley explained that it is normal procedure for emergency appliances, including fire crews and official vehicles that transport the president and his guests, to meet the plane on the tarmac. She added that what occurred at the Eugene F. Carrera International Airport when she was there earlier this week was no different from what occurred on previous visits. And that's it from me, Pearson. It's back to you so you can enjoy this fine rainy weather.
Thank you. Indeed, I shall. And we just want to remind folks that there is a flood watch in effect, and you need, for those of you who do know that you live in areas where there's the possibility of rising waters, you need to be very mindful of it and take whatever precautions are necessary. We'll take a break here on Morning Barbados, and we're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It is now 8.5 minutes after 7 o'clock. On a Thursday morning, we love to meet some very exceptional young people, whether they are from here or anywhere else in the world. As a matter of fact, today, we're going to the Asia Pacific region to meet with one of the Hey ambassadors, passionate about climate change. Her name is Jafreen Alamgir. Good morning to you, Jafreen.
Hello.
How do
Thank
you do?
I'm doing good, thank you.
All right, good. Now, it's just after 7 a.m. Barbados time. What time is it where you are?
It's 5 p.m. here. It's time for us, I guess, like evening. Yeah.
Right, in the early afternoon into the evening indeed. Now, talk to me a little bit about yourself, because you have a very keen interest in climate and how we as adults impact the climate and our environments in general. What about those two areas inspired you to want to take action?
So climate change is a very significant issue for all of us. We all need to take action for climate change, regardless of which place we are in or which background we are from. So, like, young people are taking actions and asking adults as well to take reasonable actions for climate change. So, I think that by as soon young people are all going to be able to take action climate change. And about kind of where I was like acquainted with different cultures, got to know people from different countries, so it was quite an interesting experience when it comes to working in climate change. We all can connect with each other and think that there are ways we can actually take solutions for climate change.
So when you young people come together to meet, no doubt they're going to ask you, Jafreen, tell me what is your reality? What is happening in the Asia Pacific region as it relates to climate change and the environment? Paint the picture so that we understand what it is that you are battling with almost day by day.
Like in our country, Bangladesh is one of the vulnerable countries to climate change, and we are the challenges that we are facing on a daily basis is how we are, working on it. And for example, like we still are unable to understand the significance that how very soon we might be very vulnerable to climate change because of the poor infrastructure, poor infrastructure and not having the right facilities to tackle the challenges of climate change, and also having high population where it is very dense, and it is like 15 feet above sea level, so it is kind of close to Bay of Bengal and the South Asian countries. So when the sea is rising, it is definitely affecting like a lot to Asia Pacific region most of the time. So I think that we need to understand the significance of how we take action, climate action urgently, and so like even though we young people can understand, a lot of people still need to out ways how they can tackle this kind of urgency that might arise when it comes to climate change.
When I look at what you have done so far, you have your degree in politics, philosophy, and economics, and you're now studying your master's in communication, and you're thinking all of that, and you're also passionate about climate. You know, how do you balance the two? How do you marry the two? Because I guess you're multifaceted.
Yes, we were in liberal arts college, so I had this idea about integrating different disciplines to something that we are really passionate about. So, for example, since I'm passionate about climate change, I can I'm like speaking with people about how significant this climate change is, and so even when it comes to a very subtle issue like climate change, there can also be some political clashes or differences in understanding and background. For example, if I'm from Bangladesh and someone else is from other region, they the level of understanding that I might have about my region might be different from the other person. So at that time we might have different, different politics intermingling, and so how we can, uh, come to an agreement. So there are like a lot of like the subject can also be related by thinking about the daily issues that might arise. So yeah.
You know, you live in the Asian Pacific region, quite vast region, and sometimes one can feel so lonely because it's like, it's just me in a whole sea of emptiness. Do you see enough young people like yourself who are also equally passionate about what you're interested in, so that it feels as if there's a groundswell of energy to make the change that you want to see?
Yes, there are a lot of people who are interested in climate change. In our country, we have organizations like Bangladesh Youth Environmental Network, Bangladesh Nagorik Network, which is basically working on climate change and how and the poverty level. And there are a lot of issues, a vast area of issues that we can work on. Like climate change is not just only taking increasing sea level and rising temperature. It's also related to the poverty, like farmers in our country. They are also struggling to deal with the new changes that are taking place. So we are also having food crisis in other countries also. So how they are tackling those things. So there are, I believe that is a group work, like coming together and finding solutions rather than just doing everything all by myself. So it's not like that.
That's right. I'm glad that you mentioned the fact that you are also actively finding solutions. What do you see to be some of the solutions that the world needs to implement so that we can slow down the drift that we're seeing?
So as we are identified some problems like having difficulty in tackling the climate change. For example, if they find that source of their land is affected by drought, so what happens is so the lack of water supply. So when this takes place, then we have to like the government has also have to take action. Like we can recommend some policy changes on how we can make it easy for farmers for selling producing and selling the food, the rice, which Bangladesh is mainly on, and there are also like different solutions on like the improving the infrastructure, how the government, like we in our country government is working a lot on building infrastructure in the seaside area, and yeah, and even in the Dhaka city. So the people who are in the coastal area have to come to the city. So when they are coming to the city, they also face problems. So climate change is affecting different areas of our life, which we are really not aware of unless we actually look into it. So I think that we all need to like go through each and every issues related to climate change and figure out that what like it's not possible for one person to change the whole world. So like for example, the government has its role. Other stakeholders like investors have their roles. um, so the different stakeholders need to be aware of how climate change is affecting their specific area, so that we can figure out how we can come up. And when we come up with solutions, there is also a difficulty of putting them at the right time in the right place with the right attitude. So that's also a challenge. We can also work on that.
You're quite right on that score. You know, one of the clear signs of climate change, and I think across the world, everybody has been complaining for how hot the days have become. And so we're seeing that change in temperatures and so forth, and its consequent effect on sea level rise and the like. Is that also consuming the attention of you young people in the Asian Pacific region?
So yes, we young people, we are becoming aware day by day, but we can also, as I'm the ambassador for Hate campaign, so in that way, I'm also representing my country, representing my issues, my country's issues in front of other countries. So those countries are also coming together on these, how they can come up with solutions or come up with policies for the respective countries and also our country. Also, yeah, so we can basically work on that, playing different roles. So when, as example, I'm the Hay campaign ambassador. So in that place, we are having different programs, how like social media,
Yes.
journalism, and cop training. When we are educated more and more about it, we get space and discuss more, so that can all figure out how we can take action, how we can take climate action.
Jeffreen, with all that you do, what do you do for fun? Just out of curiosity, because you're well studied, you're still doing your master's, you're passionate about the Hay, being an ambassador for the Hay campaign. Do you have fun, and what do you do for fun?
Fun. Obviously, like as I'm going to do this, so I'm also networking with people. So sometimes we have conversations randomly about our life, about what we don't do, and all. So yeah, That's how social life is spent, and watch series, listen
Right.
to music, and dance videos.
All right. All right. You're breaking up just a little bit, but that's all right. But Jeffrey, we have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us as that Hay ambassador, very young person coming out of the Asia Pacific region. And thank you for the great work that you continue to do in your region as well. Continue doing it. We acknowledge you as one of the exceptional young people of the world. And so we commend you on what you're doing. Keep doing it well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome, indeed. Jeffreen Alamgir, she hails from the Asian Pacific region, and she is one of the Hay ambassadors with a passion for climate change. And so she wants all of us to pay greater attention to how what we do impacts our environment and therefore impacts our livelihood. We'll take a break right here. We're coming back to make a call to you to let you know you're a winner. So stand by for that and a whole lot more in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
23 minutes after the hour, time for us to reward someone who has shopped at Nature's Discount or Woolworth. They've bought their products, they've completed the entry form, they dropped those entry forms into the box, and now they've been pulled for us to call. Who will that be? Will it be you? And if it is you and you've given to them, the folks, a cell phone number, I hope you have it turned on, because we're calling you. So stand by for us to give you a call. When it rings, just answer your phone. Remember, you go to Woolworth or to Nature's Discount and you make your purchase, and at the receipt you will receive also an entry form. Complete that entry form and be sure to drop it into the box. And when you do, stand by for the call. We're making a call now to someone to see if they will answer so we can tell them what they've won. You can, in this competition, win either a product bundle, you can win stationery, you can win uniforms. It is just a fantastic promotion. But you need to go to Woolworth or to Nature's Discount and make your purchases there as you prepare for back to school. Of course, you know, Nature's Discount carries a wide range of supplements to do your body good, and Woolworth has all of your supplies as well. So please do your shopping at either Woolworth or at Nature's Discount. And when you do, fill in the entry form. Fill in the entry form and let's see how you go with the competition. So already we've had many winners, and congratulations to all who've won so far. Let's see if we get a winner this morning. We want to really truly make a winner out of you, because you're already quite a winner.
Morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
Are you good?
Is this Miss Bowen?
Yes, please.
Juanita?
Yeah, who you person?
Oh, I can tell you that this is Mr. Bowen, Miss Juanita.
Uh-huh.
Right, so where do you live?
Rockfield, St. Lucie.
Okay, that's a little bit over the hill from me. All right. So, Juanita, you having a good day so far?
I know, go to my bed.
Juanita, you wake up very late. What happened?
Because I'm breathing off today.
Oh, you're off today, so you're breezing today. So you missed, did you get any of the thunder and lightning and the rain early this morning?
Yeah, I see lightning, but I hear thunder, so I guess that lightning will follow on.
The lightning goes just before the thunder. So you figure, so you heard a bit of a storm. So you were quite fine. So to buckle up in your bed and just continue sleeping because it's your day off.
I didn't really sleep. I just lay because sun up so hot, and then just lay trying to keep my eyes shut. Got tired.
Oh dear, Juanita, I can hear it. I could hear it. All right, you know what? I wouldn't stress you out any further. Juanita, you're talking to Pearson Bowen from Mornin Barbados.
Yeah.
And yes, okay. You would have recently shopped either at Woolworth or Nature's Discount. Where did you shop?
Woolworth.
Woolworth, and you got everything you were looking for?
Yes.
You finished all your shopping already?
Yes. Well, so far.
So far, who's that? You have someone who goes to the Alexandra School?
Yes, please. Kenya.
Ah, is that your daughter?
My granddaughter.
That's your granddaughter. What class is she in?
I ain't even sure because she don't really live with me, but I took her to this shopping that day.
Oh, you did? And you remember entering a competition?
Yes, please.
Well, girl, you win. You won something.
Okay.
Yes, Juanita. Juanita, you are a winner this morning. You have won some stationery from Woolworth.
Yes, please.
Yes, indeed, Juanita. Congratulations to you, okay?
Thank you very much.
You are very welcome. So, Juanita, someone will give you a call to let you know how and when to collect your stationery pack. Compliments of Woolworth and Nature's Discount. And from all of us here at CBC, we extend congratulations to you, all right?
Yes, please. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Surprise.
You're welcome. Have a good day indeed. Juanita Bowen is her name. She's from Rockfield in St. Lucie. She's a winner indeed in the competition, and you can be too. We have two more to call this morning, but we hold them for just now. So let's turn our attention now to the upcoming National Youth Awards. I'm sure you've heard of this before, haven't you? Well, it's back this year. To talk to us about how we can nominate folks and when it is and all the details is Carolyn Garnes, who is a youth commissioner with the National Youth Awards Committee. Carolyn, good morning to you.
Good morning to you too, Pearson.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm excited about the National Youth Awards 2022. So tell me a little bit about it and the number of categories, the number of awards that you'll be distributing this year.
Okay, we're distributing 13 awards this year, and they're under the categories of youth engagement, volunteerism, innovation, entrepreneurship, culture, youth in sports, science, sustainable development, youth organizations, advocacy, and a lot much more.
And I'm sure, you know, with all of those categories, there are some outstanding individuals and outstanding groups, because there are areas that are open for individual awards and for group awards as well. So where can we go to find the details so that when we nominate, we know exactly how to nominate and who to nominate?
Okay, you can go to our Instagram page at DivYouth246 or our Facebook, Division of Youth Affairs. And you can also email us at ydp@barbados.gov.bb. You can also call Sharon Bishop at 535-3846 or Carolyn Garnes at 535-3887.
Right, so the Instagram page is DivYouth246, and on Facebook it says Division of Youth Affairs. And those telephone numbers are 535-3846. And you nominations close when? When do nominations close?
Nominations will close on Wednesday, the 7th of September, and they're open all now, so persons can start to nominate.
So when I nominate, is it as simple as saying, you know what, I'm nominating Carolyn Garnes and her telephone number is XYZ2400 and we are done with that? Or do we give a bio, a little bit of background information as to why Carolyn Garnes is my nominee?
Oh, you have to give a background. You also have to give a photo of the person. All of this is on the nomination form, which you would find on our pages. And you have to say why you're nominating that person.
Yes. And there's so many categories because, as you said, there are 13 awards, and all of it is broken down. When you see the criteria, you're going to see it's really clear. It's clearly defined for you. You have the Phoenix Award, the Conrad Hunt Award, and when we hear the name Conrad Hunt, we're thinking cricket and all the like, sports. The Ficus Award, the Challenge Award, the Hope Award, the Colin Hudson Award. We're looking at innovation here. The Bambusa Award, the Banyan Award, the Baobab Award, the Calabash Award, the Canewood Award, the Sandbox Award, the Silk Cotton Award. And all of these really are Barbadian. Are you there, Carolyn?
Yes, they're all related to Barbados. They're all related to our Barbadian culture, yes.
Indeed. And so, in terms of nominating, so having nominated, we have until September to do so. And we can nominate online because we just fill in a form online, or we can drop it in and that kind of thing. How do you want us to do it?
Both. You can collect the forms from our office at Sky Mall, or you can do it online.
So we can either do it online.
Persons you're nominating have to be on the 30th by the 30th of September.
Oh, so Pearson out of it. No problem. That's all right. So it's National Youth Awards, actually, as a matter of fact. So you have to be less than 30 years old by the end of September, and you are good to go. And of course, you can go to the Division of Youth at Sky Mall to collect the forms, and you can fill them in, drop them back in. You have until the September 7th to be able to get those in. All right now you can do so, or you can go online and complete the forms there as well. And as you do, a picture is required of the individual or the group so we can get a sense of who they are and the activity they're engaged with, and also a little bit of information as to why this individual is deserving of this award, and give us some information too on what it is that they're doing so that you can really assess, isn't it? And following nomination, what's the process thereafter? Because the awards are happening in October. So having received your nominations after they close on September the 7th, what happens between then and October 2nd?
We will have a panel of judges who will be looking at each category of the awards, and we're choosing our judges based on the award, persons who will be familiar with the scope of the award, and those judges will be going through the awards, and then they will choose the person who they think deemed the best person for the award.
And no one should feel that their endeavor cannot be recognized. You just nominate.
No,
you never
just
know.
nominate.
Because it is from the nominations that someone receives an award. And if you did not have that nomination in, you didn't have the chance to be recognized. So whatever the effort is, do complete the nomination forms and drop them in. And in doing so, then wait for the call to be told that you've won either one of those awards, whether as the individual or the group. And it really doesn't matter what it is you're doing, other than the simple fact that you're doing things to uplift our young people and uplift our nation in general, correct?
Yes, correct. The theme is acknowledging excellence, inspiring youth. So we are hoping that all the persons out there will nominate our young persons who are in their communities that we are not familiar with, that they can come forward and be recognized for their work that they're doing.
Indeed. So folks, now you know, September 7th is the deadline to get your nominations in, and I really, really do hope that many people nominate across this island. There's so many young people and groups of young people who are doing phenomenal work, and because they're doing phenomenal work, let the National Youth Awards nationally recognize them. And if you have to nominate yourself, it's all right. And remember to nominate with a photograph and a bio, some information as to what it is that this individual or group is doing, and give us some sense so we can get a real good assessment of the project or the person and what they're doing, and then we'll take it from there. The judges will take it from there. Carolyn Garnes, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I wish everyone would definitely begin to nominate. Remember, you have to be less than 30 years old on the 30th of September. So somewhere between, give me the age range again, Carolyn.
They must be under 30 by the 30th of September.
Right.
And so, also let me say that the National Youth Awards will be held on the 10th of October, and it will be a culmination of our National Week of Youth, our youth activities for that week.
So more to come on that for sure. But we really want to get your nominations in by the 7th of September. Folks, nominations for the National Youth Awards. For more details, remember to go on Instagram to DivYouth246, DIVYOUTH246 on Instagram. On Facebook, you can go to Division of Youth Affairs. You can also send an email to ydp@barbados.gov.bb, or make a call, if you care to do so, to Sharon Bishop. She is 535-3846, or to Carolyn herself. She's going to answer your call. She's 535-3887. Those are the numbers to call, and those are the ways to get your nominations in. Thank you so much for joining us, Carolyn. We wish much success with this effort indeed, and may the best person win. Thank you.
Thank you for having me as well.
You're very welcome indeed. We're going to take a break right here. We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
"23 minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock this Thursday morning. I hope that you are thoroughly enjoying the change, the cool weather indeed. And for those of you, remember there's a flash flood warning in effect by the Barbados Meteorological Services for those of you who are in flood-prone areas. The caution to you is to pay attention and to watch for any eventuality of rising waters that would cause you to be discomforted, and if so, to take action as soon as possible to avoid any challenges where that's concerned. So, as the tropical wave impacts Barbados, be mindful of your own security. It's your responsibility. All right, let's see if we get another winner on the phone right now, and let's see who we get. Remember, you would have gone shopping at Woolworth or Nature's Discount. You would have been starting your back-to-school shopping or your general shopping, I suppose. And having spent your money, you would have received an entry form or forms. You would have completed those forms, you dropped them in the box, and the folks made a draw. They sent your name and your number to us, and we're happy to let you know what you have won. Remember everyone who's enter this competition, you will win either uniforms, product bundle, or stationery. Compliments to folks there, and certainly I want to wish congratulations to all of you who've won so far. Hello, good morning. May I speak to Shirley, please?
Hello?
Good morning. May I speak to Shirley?
You have the wrong number.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry, sir. Let's try that again and see if we have the wrong number or if it was us who dialed the wrong number. So let's see if we can reach out once again. So you know right away now I call you for Shirley. And so somebody whose name is Shirley, we are trying to see if we can reach you, but let's see if we dialed the wrong number or if the wrong number was given to us. So let's try one more time and see, and then we'll see where we go from there. So Nature's Discount or Woolworth, those are the places to shop. And Woolworth has a range of things, not just for back to school, but everything that you're looking for generally. But of course, uniforms, stationery.
The number you have dialed.
All right, but bags and the like, all available at Woolworth. So what we'd have to do is to double check those numbers with the folks who sent them to us and see where we go from there. But congratulations to all so far who have already entered the competition, and we'll see how it goes from there. So don't forget to do your shopping. Go shopping today. Go continue shopping. This competition will not run forever because school resumes on the 19th. So you literally don't have that many days left still for you to be able to avail yourself of winning through the competition. So head to Woolworth, head to Nature's Discount, and at Nature's Discount, they have a range of products, health products, indeed, for a lot of you to make yourself feel better, to live healthier. Next week, it will be the grand prize, so it's almost done. And hello?
Hello?
Hello, hi, what's your name?
Dominique.
Say it again?
Dominique.
Dominique. So you're Dominique Haynes?
Yes, please.
Hi, how are you doing, Dominique? Do you have any idea who you're speaking with?
Please.
Dominique?
Yes, please.
Do you have any idea with whom you're speaking?
I have no idea. The voice sounds familiar.
Who does it sound like?
Somebody from radio station?
Perhaps, but who does it sound like? You have no clue, do you, Dominique?
I don't.
Dominique, I don't believe you for real. That's all right, though, Dominique. Dominique, where do you live? What parish?
I live in St. Thomas.
Oh, how is the weather this morning, Dominique?
On and off with some rain and some sun.
You're loving it, aren't you, Dominique? You're loving it.
Yes, I am.
As I am too, Dominique. You're actually talking to Pearson Boyne on Morning Barbados, Dominique.
Okay.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Have you had your breakfast already?
Not as yet.
And you're still racking your brain to trying to figure out why this man calling me and quizzing me so early in the morning, right?
Yeah, I am.
That's all right, I'll tell you now. Dominique, did you go shopping at Woolworth or Nature's Discount recently?
Yes, please.
Which one?
Woolworth.
And were you doing some back-to-school shopping?
No, I was shopping for a baby shower.
Oh, for a relative of yours or someone you know?
Yes, someone I know.
Or just someone you know, fair enough. And you found everything you were looking for?
Yes, please.
Do you have anyone who goes to school still, of school age?
Yes, please, my niece.
Who? Your niece, what school does she go to?
The Rock Christian School.
Yes, she does. I know that too. You see how much I know about you, Dominique? Well, yaha! Having entered the competition, Dominique, they pulled your name and you are a winner, Dominique, this morning of a product bundle. Dominic is St. Thomas. Dominic, congratulations to you. That product is a range of products from Nature's Discount. Someone will be making a call to you, Dominic, to let you know when and how to collect your product bundle. And thank you so much for taking the call and for engaging with us, and congratulations on your win, all right?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Dominic. Dominic Thomas, right there in St. Thomas, indeed. Dominic Haynes, Dominic Thomas, I named the woman already. Dominic Haynes of St. Thomas, indeed, a Rock Christian School. She's received herself a product bundle. Compliments of Nature's Discount. Congratulations to her. We've already rewarded someone with a stationery pack. Congratulations to them as well. Let's see one more time if we can get that other winner we're hunting for, because we love to reward winners. And for those of you, you can too be a winner. Next week is the grand prize, so you have a few more days left still to get your entry in by going shopping at Woolworth or Nature's Discount. And best of luck to all of you. Let's see if we can help you. The phone rings, and it could very well be you that we're calling. If it is you, y'all want to learn to answer your phone? All right. Well, we will see, but let's make the announcement, shall we? Yes. So let's tell you, we were trying to call today Shirley Hoyt. Shirley Hoyt. Shirley Hoyt is the winner of 5 uniforms. We will make sure that we get Shirley Hoyt her winnings of 5 uniforms. So Shirley Hoyt, we were calling you. You did not answer your phone, but nonetheless, we're letting everyone know that you've won 5 uniforms. You have someone there going to St. Cyprian's Boys. So congratulations to all indeed today. All right, shall we take a break? And when we come back, the lady who eats clammy cherry will join us right here on Morning Barbados. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
clammy cherry.
Hi everyone. So we're here by a clammy cherry tree today. And guess what? The clammy cherry is also edible. And this is a fruit that we grew up using for pasting kites, using for glue, etc. But I know a lot of people don't even know that you can actually eat this fruit, and it has quite a lot of properties and benefits to it. Similar to the other neem tree that I mentioned, the neem fruit, this also is a superfood, and it's useful for digestion, stomach aches, boils on your skin, even sexual enhancements as well. So people, you gotta leave some for the other people in order to get them, all right? So don't go and see if you can get all of them off the tree at one time. So anyhow, I have my girl Suzanne here with me today. This is Suzanne, my very good friend, and she actually used to use the leaves as a young child. So Suzanne, explain to us how you would use the leaves.
As a child, every night at 7:30 you had to have your tea, and usually clammy cherry leaf would be a part of that, and we would call them cooling teas. You may remember having the orange peel tea, all the pear tree, the soursop. Clammy cherry leaf was also a part of that repertoire. You would have this is settle into the stomach and stuff at night, and it calms you down. So this was a great cooling tea. It makes a great cooling tea. You just take it, let it dry for a couple of days, throw the hot water on it. Fantastic.
You kidding?
Without or with a little sugar if you choose to. But it's a brilliant cooling tea.
You can imagine that. And we have all these trees here in Barbados, and we're not taking advantage of them. So guys, go get your clammy cherry. I'm going to taste it for you. No, actually, Suzanne and I will taste it. I tried this. Suzanne, you tasting it, right? Good, good. I tried this. I went to St. Vincent one year, and the guy got out the van and went and picked clammy cherries for all of us to taste. And it's pretty sweet. At least that's what I can remember. That was a couple years ago. So we're going to taste it now and let you know what it tastes like. All right. So try and see if you can find a good one. I got one here. So take a look. The clammy cherry. And I remember in the comments, people mentioned to me, please wash your fruits, Andrea, before you eat them. So let me wash my fruits now. This is some salt water that I brought with me.
But Andrea, remember, back then, in those years, we didn't used to wash the fruit.
Right, and my immune system would have been built because of this. But anyhow, nowadays, let me wash my fruits. All right, so let's wash the fruit. Great. All right, let me get the salt taste off of it. It's sweet, but it's gooey.
Yeah.
Very, very.
You know, we stopped the exercise books when they were torn with this as well.
And PS kites.
Yeah, exactly. It's really nice. Can right for the good Aki.
The thing is, you gotta get away from the glue first, though. But it's real sweet, though. There we go. That's the seed. So folks, that's the clammy cherry. Go and taste it. Let me know what your thoughts are on this, because I know a lot of you would probably have eaten this as a child, and I'm bringing back some memories. So happy hunting and happy tasting. Bye.
Andrea is joining us now. Andrea, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson, and good morning, Barbados.
I like what you asked your friend. You tasted it, right? Andrea. This is so amazing. I am sure Beijing's watching this morning saying, "Who, me? Nah, girl, I ain't tasting that." How was it?
Pearson, it was good. It was very good. As long as you got past the gluey texture in your mouth, then you would see that it tastes more like an ackee, like our Bajan ackee, not the Jamaican ackee, the Bajan ackee.
Okay. Really?
Yes, it was really good. It was really good.
Did
Actually, people sent me some comments to say they tried it for the first time. They were not expecting that taste, but they actually enjoyed it.
I don't know if I'm bold enough to even try to see what the taste is. Did it feel sticky at all? Because we know the clammy cherry is for the sticking purposes that we know it for. So did your mouth feel sticky, as if it was sticking to the roof of your mouth or anything like that?
I think with my saliva, it wasn't too bad, but you could still feel a bit of that stickiness. But as I said, when you got past that, you were all good.
So how many have you ever? How many have you ever eaten at a time?
No, I would probably say only about 2. I am not. Clammy cherry is not one that I would eat, but what I will say is that people have mentioned that they use it in a drink, so that I need to try.
Well, that when you try, I can't wait to see because this is not going to try it for sure. So here it is. So this clammy cherry. What is it that caused you to be so fascinated by it at all to want to even attempt to taste it?
Actually, I have started trying different videos. This is probably over a year now. And this is tasting different types of fruits that people don't actually know grow in Barbados, or that people would probably never think that you can eat. So when with one of my last videos, somebody called me and said, Andrew, you need to try the clammy cherry. I was like, oh boy. But I remember trying it some time back. My family tried it. And I said, well, you know what? Well, if the other territories are eating, let me try it here and let people see that you can actually use it. And when I started doing some research on it, then I realized it had really good properties. People consider it a superfruit. So I said, well, you know what? Let me bite the bullet. Even if I try something once, I can say that, yes, I had the experience of it. Yeah. Pearson, please try it at least once.
I hear you. But we grew up with this thing all over the place. And suddenly you don't see them as often around the place as we would have before while we were growing up. So now you really have got people now started to plant them, no doubt to plant them again and to go hunt them wherever they are, mostly in the countryside because these built up areas don't have these kinds of fruit trees at all. But when you stop to think of it, you said it's like a sweet cherry. Naturally, you're right away, your whole thinking changes to that, you know what, I could take it because it's like a cherry. Makes it easier to consume. Have you ever tried a sweet lime?
Yes, that's one of my next videos. I tried making sweet lime jam.
Really?
And jelly. And I also tried making sweet lime drink as well. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. So that's going to be my next video.
It wasn't bad to your taste. That's sorry for your palate.
It's citrusy. That's what I will say. It's citrusy.
So what other kinds of exotic fruits that we would turn up our nose to that you have tried?
I can tell you that I've tried probably the most exotic one would be the champerdat, which is a cousin to the jackfruit, and that grows in Barbados as well. The thing is, as long as you get past the smell, some people think the smell is so glorious. Other people say, well, Andrea, that ain't going nowhere near my mouth. But it is very sweet. When I first tasted it, it had so many different flavors going on. It was like a melody going on in my mouth. All sorts of different, it tastes like banana. You have the pineapple in between there. You have a little bit of a slight orange. So there's so many different flavors just from that one champion or jackfruit.
But there's
the most exotic one that I've tried so far.
There's some fruits on our trees that we still need to be very careful of, and we don't want people to go there to be too adventurous, and the next thing you know, they cause harm to their health. Because there was a fruit. Have you ever heard of the manchineel tree?
Oh yes, that will not go up on any of my videos because it's extremely poisonous, and people have to constantly be telling tourists, please don't eat that. Don't eat that because it grows along the beach sides.
Yes.
So. Yeah.
As a country boy myself, I know what that is. We just want to let people know, while you want to explore, be very careful. Not everything you see growing on a vine on a tree is necessarily to be edible. Be very careful where that's concerned. But you can try. You're saying that I could try the clammy cherry, and I would have the kind of wonderful experience that you've had.
Yes.
But you sounded scared in your video, though. You asked your friend, you're going to try it, right? In other words, I ain't doing this by myself.
But she's just as adventurous as I am. Actually, I think she's more adventurous than I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. But most of these, you go into hidden spaces in the countryside and you hunt down and you find, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or, what I can tell you, since I started doing the videos, people would contact me and say, Andrea, okay, well, I have something else for you to try. And then, of course, I would do my research first. I would do my research, make sure that it is edible, and then I would try it at that point in time.
So, what is it about you, and what those fruit trees that made you start the exploration in the first place?
I love fruit trees. I love taste and I love the texture. I just love planting just to see. And I think when I get my first fruit, I feel as though I've done
Achieved.
something, I've accomplished something.
Yes.
So this started, I can tell you this started probably a couple years ago. But and this was actually after COVID. I started planting before, but then I went into a particular store, a hardware store, and I realized that they had so many different types of fruit trees in that store, seedlings, I should say, that I wasn't accustomed to hearing about in Barbados. So again, I started doing some additional research, started following people on YouTube to see exactly where they would grow, how they would grow, what soil composition, the type of environment. And that's how I started. I would buy these trees, put them in the ground, nurture them, and I can tell you that I've started getting a lot of fruit so far.
Wow.
So for me, that's one of the reasons that I started doing it, so that people can experience what I have been experiencing for all this time.
Well, let me tell you, you are exceptional for real, Andrea, one of a kind. So for those who are watching today who want to follow you to see where else now your interest in exploring takes you, where can we find you on social media?
Yes, well, what I can tell you, I've joined a couple of groups with the same interests. Those people have been very, very supportive and encouraging. That's one thing I can tell you about these groups that I'm in. You can find me. What I normally do is I would put it up on my TikTok. My TikTok will be, that's going to be Andrea Carrington, because I'm also a realtor with Massey Realty. So what I'm doing too is trying to incorporate both of these together. So when I sell a property, then I would try to give a fruit tree as well. So that at least try to populate the island with fruit trees as well, whether they're normal or whether they're exotic. So you can find me on Andrea Carrington, Andrea Carrington Realtor, sorry, that's on TikTok. You can find me again, Andrea Carrington _Massey Realty. I tend to put stuff there as well. And you can find me then on Facebook. And my nickname is Pinky, so you'll find me on the Pinky Carrington. Now, the groups that I'm also in, you'll find me on Green Thumb Barbados. I normally put them there. Rare Fruits, this is Barbados Rare Fruits and Vegetables Growers. You'll find me there as well. You'll find me on Bajan Gardeners.
Girl, you're everywhere. You're everywhere.
I'm all over.
You're everywhere.
I'm all over.
That's because you're so unique and unusual, in our opinion, indeed. So, Andrea Carrington, thank you so much. I'm sure that Bajans now know the clammy cherry tree, since you've tasted it yourself and you're still alive to tell the tale. Won't kill you, so go try it ourselves. So thank you so much for the great work you're doing, inspiring Barbadians to be adventurous, to live life a little bit more as well, through your eyes and then from our own experiences as well. Thank you for joining us on Morning Barbados.
Thank you, Pearson.
You're very welcome. You do too. Thank you so very much. And that's it for today, everybody. Thank you for joining us indeed. My producer has been Alicia Asgrant, technical director Anderson Nurse. At sound has been Christopher Blenman, master control Tamisha Green. I'm Pearson Boyne for the crew. To all of you, good day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.